Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a slight serious conversation. I want to talk to victims of gun violence, or everybody. If you 2A, either less lethal or guns or both, we see the protection side of things, and we see, hey, we want to protect ourselves and protect our lives. And I think for the most part, most gun people feel that way. We may have a few political things that's different, which to me, it is what it is. But for the most part, everybody want to be safe, live their life safe, and be safe. If I had my way, if I had to have no guns or everybody have a gun, I would have everybody have no gun. But we live in such crazy times that places that's sacred, like schools and churches, are no longer sacred, and you have to match it accordingly. I'm not saying everybody bring it out, but at least have an armed security at churches and at schools. But for anybody who have suffered from gun violence, first thing first, I'm sorry. I can imagine how devastating, life-altering that is. I've known quite a few people that have been murdered in years past. Nobody recent. Well, actually, a kid murdered a classmate of my ex-stepson. He murdered another kid. Not even a kid, the dude was 21 years old, but the kid who did it was 14. Now he's in jail pretty much the rest of his life for a long time. It's devastating. It's life altering, and I've never been shot at. I've never been in a direct victim state. But I have known people and been in circles and talked to people who have funerals of people that died in their 20s. It's devastating. It's life altering, and I wish people understand that these guns and in particular, it's nothing to play with. It's a strict responsibility that people need to take, and gun safety has to be your main purpose of doing it, and self-preservation, not because of ego and how tough you are. That stuff will get you in jail. But for anybody who have suffered from gun violence, I'm sorry. I wish that didn't happen to you. Don't judge all gun people the same way. And I know that's harder said than done, because a person with a gun took a person from you, or you've been shot at. I strongly suggest counseling to unpack the wounds, and the wounds gonna hurt for a while, and sometimes you may need medical help and medication and therapy to get through it. What I would say to you is, the reason why I carry is to make sure I don't lose anyone. That doesn't make me a bad person. It just makes me want to protect my family at all costs. like I said in a previous video, I can do it with less lethal. I really don't need a gun. But in the capacity that I do security, I felt like I need something to match the worst case scenario. Like Batman kept a kryptonite bullet for Superman just in case if he went rogue. And that is my only reason. I'm not a person out there trying to, and carry a AK-47 to Walmart. This is my God-given right. I'm gonna address the political stuff. I've been trying to avoid it because I'm not to offend, but I'm gonna have to address it. The politics and guns. I'm trying to see how I word it so people will understand. But you're not, if you never shot a gun and you never choose to shoot a gun, it does not make you any weak of a person. And I totally understand, because I felt that way too for many years. But it's just the stage of life and the journey I have been traveling has caused me to be in this situation. But I do sympathize and understand. It is not, but all I would ask is, while you may be a victim of it, don't let it victimize your life where it stops you from living. There are some bad people with guns, but the guns don't make them bad. They're bad by themselves based upon their personality. The gun is an extension of their personality. It's no different than using my car. My car is not a bad car, evil car. It's what I do with. If I decide to hit a person with it, it makes me bad. So that's how I perceive, guns. And some may say, well, I wish I have something to protect themselves. I would strongly recommend less lethal weapons. And if you don't know what less lethal weapons are, there's many called launchers that look and feel like a gun, but it doesn't have the killing effect of a gun. There's literally less lethal that will drop a person and they're gonna be in a lot of pain, but they won't die. It is my go-to number one EDC. Not the gun. The gun is my backup for when everything else goes awry. But I'm mostly less lethal 75% of the time. I'm less lethal EDC. That's my preference. And plus, I don't live in an environment where I need that type of pressure all the time. And plus, I don't want the headache of a lawyer. And so less lethal is a very much more safety protocol to kind of stay out of trouble. I think more gun people need to take more sensitivity of people. A lot of gun people say, well, Democrats want to keep this and such. You have to understand a lot of the places where there's Democrats, it's a lot of gun violence, and a lot of people have not gotten guns the right way. So a lot of disenfranchised areas have suffered because of a few bad people. So people usually hang with their constituents, which in a lot of Democratic is minorities. You can call it liberal, you can call it whatever you want, but that's really true. That may not affect your neighborhood or where you live, but it affects a lot of areas. We need to have a little bit more sensitivity of that and stop making it so political size, or make it very political. Everything is not a political situation. I just want to protect myself just because I want to protect myself, not because of a political party. Nobody is in these streets saying Republican or Democrat. They're just criminals, you know, and that's the truth. So, you know, that is where I'm coming from. So I hope that helps. Have a good one.